Hey everyone, this is Hirotana Mai 2011. Welcome back to more Let's Play Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we saved Hyrule for like the 10th time in terms of the video games and 4th time in turn of the chronology. Wow, I'm getting tongue-tied here. In this episode, the foretold bonus episode that I said like a long time ago is finally happening, where I'm showing you some glitches you can exploit in the GameCube version. Now, you guys may be wondering where I've been. Well, for those of you who don't follow me on social media or have not been listening to that update video I put a while back, I'll leave a link in the description for that. I am currently moving to a new place because, well, the rent got too much to bear on the old place I was living at since, Mom's gone, so the bills barely get paid anymore, unless it's me doing it. So, basically, I'm in the process of moving to a new place, and I put all LPs on hiatus, but I decided, you know what, there's no Sonic Heroes to record this week because Non-ARP is sick, so I'm finally going to give you the promised bonus video that I said I would give you a long time ago. And the first one I'm showing off is underneath Lake Hylia. This is a glitch that you can exploit by, well, doing exactly what I said pretty much, where you go to the corner of where you would find that bird, and you'd basically just use the claw shot and lock on to a certain point in the camera, and yeah, you're underneath Lake Hylia. You can see the draw distance, everything. You can see how really pretty the skybox is, and the sun turned into the moon on the bottom. But I sped up over here because I'm showing you that you can also get to Lakebed Temple this way by clipping through the wall. I believe some speedrunners actually do exploit this glitch. I don't know if this is still the fastest way, but yeah, this is something that you can totally do if you want to. So that's one thing you can do by going underneath Lake Hylia. The other one is related to the other thing I want to show off, which is infinite bomb arrows. But I believe the first thing I'm showing off here is an interesting collision detection that I wanted to show off with the waterfall. Now, something that's kind of interesting about the waterfall over here is that the collision detection, as you can see from where I'm swimming, is that, well, it's a hitbox, pretty much, and you can swim under this hitbox, because if you go too high, you will be pushed back by the waterfall, and that's the entrance to the Kakariko Graveyard, but unfortunately, if you go in there, it's not a two-way trip, as I show off right here. You can swim and use iron boots to get in here, but yeah, you're not getting in there, because unfortunately, it's a one-way door. So, I have to swim all the way back over there to show off what I really want to show off, where we're going underneath part of Zora's River, where again, there's no loading zone or anything, so you can't actually glitch yourself into the river, at least not yet anyway. And, well, interesting collision detection, as I mentioned before. So, again, I apologize for these updates being very sporadic, especially since, I've been very good, at least I like to think, with consistent uploads as of late. And I'm sorry for the, well, frankly, almost 3 to 4 months that I've been away. But this move is taking longer than I thought, and frankly, I kind of don't want to unpack my stuff until I actually move into a new place. But, I have, unpacked stuff like my Wii U and everything, just so that I can record Dragon Ball Z. Oh, and over there I'm showing the hit detection where the water ends, so you just fall into an endless abyss. And that is going to come in handy, by the way, for the next glitch I'm showing off, which is, the infinite bomb arrows. And you saw there that I loaded in front of the load zone for Lakebed Temple, so that's part of the collision detection stuff. In any case, what I'm trying to say here that I'm getting tongue-tied on is that, well, Twilight Princess finished back in January, and then I started Klonoa saying that, okay, I'm going to upload these bonus episodes after I'm done with Klonoa, because I'm going to have all three of them, I'm going to have all three LPs finished all in one go once I upload all the bonus videos together. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that, and I apologize for that. But, yeah, I'm uploading this now, but I'm going to need some time with the second bonus video because, as of this recording, the HD version of Twilight Princess did come out, and something interesting I can point out now for the HD version of Twilight Princess, this glitch isn't in there anymore. You can still clip through the floor like normal, but they added invisible walls to Lake Hylia, so you can no longer do this glitch. It's only in the GameCube and Wii versions, as far as I know. And, well, as I believe I'm speeding up to get over to where I wanted to go, any minute now. I'm looking at my timeline. Don't make a liar out of me. Ah, there we go. So, yeah, One interesting thing, too, about the HD version, which, you know, I should cover all this stuff in the HD version, but they sped up swimming in the HD version, so that's another nice change that they made. But the moment that we get up to this version of the Zora's River, or the unfinished Zora's River, the current starts dragging us back, and I put on my iron boots so that I can walk all the way over to this corner over here. This corner is particularly weird, as you'll see in a minute, as soon as I get over to it, at least. Any day now. That's one thing that wasn't changed. Iron Boots walking is so slow. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful of walking underwater and everything, but even still, it's like, geez. Yeah, notice something strange? We've reached the limit of where the water loads. I take one step, I'm underwater, and if I move the camera in a certain way, I'll be under the water again, but I take another step, and now I'm out of the water. As I'm going to show right here, too, it's completely possible to take one step and drown yourself in the air. This is something funny I really, really enjoy doing, especially since you can whoosh like that. Whoosh! Yeah, you know my commentary is devolved into crap when I'm just doing stuff like that. But yeah, those are the interesting hitboxes I wanted to show off. In any case, with that being done, I'm going to go to the very edge of this area because, again, with everything being weirdly loaded and stuff, and you can even see where the water unloads, I'm going to jump off the edge because there's no collision detection, so death! And that's the end of that story. But now is the interesting part. Remember before how I mentioned that, oh, there should be a piece of heart or something in that one section of Southern Hyrule Field? Well, here's the thing. During this recording, which I did back in January, I remember to go here because I'm like, wait, I 100%'d the game already. I never got this treasure chest. So what could be in here? Well, prepare for disappointment, because I sure as hell was disappointed when I found this out. Inside this treasure chest, there is, as soon as I Spider-Man on my way down there. Come on, Link. Now, inside this treasure chest is... Well, with that being said, and I throw myself off the edge again, I cut to other footage that I found on YouTube, because frankly, I'll admit, I actually forgot how to do the infinite bar hour glitch, so I had to look it up on YouTube, as shameless as that is to admit. So, this is footage that I just so happened to find, and I apologize for that. This episode is really disjointed, and this is a very long episode, as you can tell from the timestamp there, about 45 minutes, and you'll see why in a little bit. But, yeah. So, one thing that I did want to mention that, you know, this is probably going to be brought up in the Twilight Princess HD video, but a lot of the treasure chests that were not worth it, like that treasure chest over there, are made into Miiverse stamps in the Wii U version of the game. So, they are worth your time to go after, especially if you are going for 100% this time, but regardless, I'll talk about more of that when I get to that video. Now, let's actually talk about the Infinite Bomb Arrow glitch. So, the first thing you have to do is activate this minigame and die. It may seem really weird to just purposely mess up like that, but trust me, that's part of the process. Well, with that being said, you wake up to the last point. Well, no, you wake up to where you would talk to the bird normally. It doesn't matter where you use the howling whistle or anything. So what you have to do is then just talk to this bird again and tell him no, and exploit the Under Lake Hylia glitch that I showed off before. The reason for this being is that because you're you're essentially killing yourself by, you know, swimming to a point where you're essentially killing yourself by throwing yourself out of bounds. Essentially, you load Link to the last point that they saved his progress, which is after the minigame. And because of this, you're loading yourself to a point where Plume, I think that's the guy's name, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, he believes you're still Wolf Link, because the last time you loaded the game, it was during the cutscene of trying the thing again. And, well, this happens. You're basically invisible, as the, you have to mess up again and get whooshed all the way over to the left-hand side. And, well, you load in, before when I mentioned that you load in a, there's no way to load yourself into Lake Hylia. Well, yeah, you kind of just did. Which is weird how... It's weird and interesting that Isa's, tent and Zor River are all one thing, and you glitch out the screen immensely when you do this, too, by the way. But, you get to the bottom of this, and... Ooh, that ore is, that ore is going through, my body head thing. This isn't the only glitch you can exploit, but unfortunately this is the only glitch that I'm actually showing off in the video. There's plenty of glitches you can exploit in Twilight Princess, but I didn't exactly have time to record all these, plus I'm not that good, so I didn't get the chance to show a lot of these off because, well, for example, this is found footage, so, you know, if I show off every glitch, we'd be here forever. But now that you're Wolf Link, you can now warp out of there as the boat leaves behind you. Now warp to wherever you want. I believe we're warping over to Castletown. Yes, we are. After you turn yourself out of Wolf, once you enter the area, you now notice that on your X button, you have no number underneath the bomb arrows. Yep. For as long as you have the game on and until you reset or turn off your system, your bomb arrows are now infinite. Congratulations for being a filthy cheater. I have never done this glitch during the course of the game, but it sure is fun to exploit once you have no reason to do it. I know, kind of defeats the purpose. And it sucks that this glitch isn't in the HD version. It really, really does. But in any case, back to my own footage, because there's something really funny about to happen. So, remember how in Ocarina of Time and in Wind Waker, when you fight Phantom Ganon, you can use an empty bottle to deflect his projectiles when playing the volleyball game? Well, guess what? Yup. For as serious as a game as Twilight Princess is, they kept in using the empty bottle during the volleyball scene. It's really, really stupid to just ruin the seriousness of this moment by doing this, but you totally can. Now, there's one other stupid thing you can do in the final boss. I'm going to cut to it right now, so I'll meet you in a second. And now that we're back, remember when I said that you want to ruin the mood by using an empty bottle on the volleyball section? Here's another thing to ruin the mood as I mess up the event. You can use the fishing rod to distract Ganondorf during the final battle. If you think the final battle is too hard, Ganondorf will be distracted by the fishing rod. And I kid you not, so long as you have it out and wiggle it around his face, he is so dumbfounded by how stupid Link is being that you can actually keep wailing on him, and this is actually an effective strategy if you're doing a low percent run, or if you're playing the Wii U version and doing a Link Must Die run, which is basically hero mode plus the Ganondorf amiibo. You can use the fishing rod to basically never get hit by Ganondorf because he's so dumbfounded about what you're doing. Be warned though, there will be points where this won't work, and he'll just kick you like he was doing there to me. But yeah, this is essentially making the game really, really stupid. And I'm so glad that in a game that tried being really dark, they still had a sense of humor, even in the final boss. And that really brings warmth to my heart. But we're going to speed up here and get to when Ganondorf dies, because, well, the next part of this segment is actually something that I wanted to show off a while back, and that's part of the Wii version. I'm going to show off a few things from the Wii version, and also the difference in the Wii version's opening. Something I want to point out, too, is that the Wii version did not have... The Wii U version of the game does not have the opening video, and I find it really, really jarring that they don't. But, yeah. So, with that being said, let's go to the footage of the Wii version, shall we? I'll join you after we see the opening.
Oh my god.
Ganondorf
Is going to hell. Where I'll be waiting for him.
It's nice to be back in Nordon Village, but things are really, really weird, aren't they? For starters, Navi's here. Yeah, kind of interesting, huh? And secondly, there's no sound effects coming out of her sword. Now, I wasn't able to record this originally because this was all post-commentary, but yeah, one thing the Wii version does is that all of your sound effects, for the most part, come from the Wii Remote. And to use the spin attack, because there's no, shaking the, while twirling the controller and everything, you basically have to shake the nunchuck. Now, I find this better for stuff like fighting King Bulbin on top of the Elden Bridge and all that, but I find it cumbersome during regular gameplay, and I'm so glad that this isn't here in the Wii U version. The same thing applies to when you're using Wolf Link. Now, Navi's there as basically your pointer, and I think that's really clever, although it is a bit of a tease for people who are wondering what happened to Navi after Ocarina of Time, and the fact that this isn't actually her, it's just a peripheral. But, yeah, now, something shameless. This is actually the second time I've beaten the Wii version of Twilight Princess. I've beaten the GameCube version, like, numerous times. But this is only the second time I've beaten the Wii version, because I will say this right now, muscle memory f***s me up. Like, I'm not even joking. The fact that, yeah, the reason why I've never beaten the Wii version more than once, and I've only ever beaten it 100% once, is just because the muscle memory was so bad in this one. Like, I know, like, just, instead of going east, just go left, but wow, it really, really messed me up. And as you can see there, too, another change in the Wii version is that, while, yeah, it's, to be expected that, all of, your stuff like the claw shot, the bow and arrow and everything are used with the pointers and all that. For some reason, it's over the shoulder in the Wii version, which a lot of people kind of like, considering it's reminiscent of Resident Evil 4, which has the best control scheme on the Wii, if you ask my opinion. But yeah, it's kind of it made it hard for me. And what's cool is that in the HD version of the game, you can choose to either have, your bow and arrow and stuff over the shoulder or in first person using the gyroscope. frankly, used over the shoulder at first, but it became way too hard to use, and then I just basically switched back. So, yeah, there's my stance on that. Plus, getting the Hawkeye in this version was really hard for me, just because, frankly, over the shoulder obscured my view too much, to the point where it took forever to get the, to do the side quest to get the, Hawkeye. In any case, another thing, too, that I'm pointing out also here is that the fishing rod is something that I find is actually better in the Wii version, where you use the Wii remote and everything, and use motion controls to fish, which I think is done a lot better, and frankly, I think I would have enjoyed big fishing if this was actually his control scheme. But, you know, whatever. That bridge, water under the bridge, as they say. But, yeah, you may notice Link's using the fishing rod in his right hand, as he was in the GameCube version. It's a weird, weird attention to detail, but that's the one thing that they did not flip in this version. And, you know, I find... Okay, Link being right-handed for 80% of the world being right-handed, I get that. But the fact that his fishing rod is in the right hand of the Wii and his right hand in GameCube, I find weird. And it's even more weirder that in the HD version, his fishing rod is in the left. And they completely got rid of the C-stick controls and everything in favor of a convoluted control scheme, frankly. But more on that once we actually get to the HD version of the game. Now, every glitch you can do in the GameCube version, you can exploit in the Wii version, and to an extent, even more. Yellow Rupee! We had to get one more in there before we went on with our lives, because it's gone in the HD version. I know, it's sad. But another thing that I'm showing off here is actually the minigame in Zora River. Now, I mentioned before, earlier in the LP, that I find the control scheme for this weird in the Wii version, as opposed to the GameCube version, where it's just using the control stick. In the Wii version, as you can see, your pointer is basically where the bird goes. And I'm not even bothering the high score here, but I'm sure as hell gonna try. This would later be used as Fluzzard, you know, everyone's favorite bird in Mario Galaxy 2. And frankly, as you can see, as it's saying stuff like, you know, point the Wii remote at the screen, I don't like this control scheme. And they kind of bring this back. No, not even kinda. They bring this back in full force for Skyward Sword, because that's how you control your Loftwing. But the funny thing is, the Skyward Sword, I feel that controls a lot better. People complain about Skyward Sword's motion controls, but I feel it did the motion controls a lot better than Twilight Princess, frankly. Frankly, with Twilight Princess, while the motion controls for the most part do function well, and they don't take away anything from the game, I feel they were still done well in Skyward Sword. While they are unnecessary for certain parts of Skyward Sword, I do think the motion controls are overall good in Skyward Sword, and I think they work better in Skyward Sword than do this. And speaking of Skyward Sword, there is something I want to mention now. A long time ago on YouTube, and I don't know where to find the footage now, I have clips of it that I'm going to put on the screen right now. If you want to play through Twilight Princess with the Skyward Sword textures, there's a mod you can do for your Dolphin that completely changes the game's textures for Skyward Sword textures. It absolutely ruins the tone of the game by giving the game these textures, but there is one benefit to it, and as of this recording, I have no idea how to do it because nobody has really answered me in the messages, and I tried contacting the creator, and he's gone MIA on giving me a reply, but if you want to play through the game with Skyward Sword textures, even though it completely kills the mood, so I wouldn't recommend it for your first time playing through the game, and would only recommend it if you just want to play through the game with Skyward Sword textures just for the hell of it, and also play through the game with the Wii remote controls, but as the GameCube version, since you can see on screen that Link is left-handed and everything. If you want to do that, I would highly recommend playing this mod. Like I said, it ruins the tone of the game, so don't expect to be playing the game with any serious moments with this, because the colors really, really mess it up. In any case, I'm showing off the fishing hole here because, well, yeah, I did say before that one thing that's done really, really well in the Wii version is the fishing, and again, I would have enjoyed Big's fishing if it was like this. But, I'm kind of having trouble with it, because this is the first time I've been fishing in the Wii version in a while, and yeah, the controls don't exactly work like you think they would, because I'm trying so hard to get this fish, and I am not doing well. Maybe it's just because I haven't done this in a while or something, but yeah, this is kind of a pitiable performance, as you can see, as the fish gets away. I forgot to mention, too, that if the fish takes too long, yeah, it gets away, too. Thank God that didn't happen with me with the catching the Hylian Loach, because I would have been f***ed. In any case, I believe one last thing that I'm showing is the infamous roll goal game. Because I mentioned before that it's made slightly easier in the Wii version because they know that you're going to have a tough time with this minigame. As I go over to it right now. As soon as I... Oh! Okay, look at her hat instead, Link. So, look at the roll goal. Look at the roll goal. There we go. So, notice the time on the top... notice the time on the bottom side of the screen. Now, for a roll goal, like I said in the original, you had to use the control stick and tilt it slightly, similar to Super Monkey Ball, which isn't that bad. In this, you have to use the Wii Remote, similar to the waiter minigame in WarioWare. And I can understand motion controls, that's not that bad, but frankly, I never did this. I only did this, like, once. Like, I completed a total of one time in the Wii version because of this control scheme. But something I wanted to point out that I also pointed out when I did this in the GameCube version is that they give you a bigger time limit in the Wii version because they know you're going to have trouble with this control scheme. So, thank God for the developers for playtesting this, right? But this is basically the extent of all the differences in the Wii version that I really wanted to cover. I'm sorry it's not that extravagant, but yeah, that's basically all the stuff that I wanted to show off, because it's not really that much of a change. For the most part, it's the same game, and I do recommend playing the GameCube version over this one, but, you know, it's still nice to have a different version to look over. Now, there's one last thing we want to look over before we end this video, and we're going to cut to it right now.
And if you don't like it, you can take your whiny, sniveling, snot-nosed populations, form a line behind me, and kiss my... We're still on? Well, turn it off, you idiot!
Back over on my Wii screen, which, God, I did not change the time or anything. We start Link's crossbow training, or we attempt to. Now, I gotta admit on this one, this is not my save data. Unfortunately, the save data I had for this game is gone, and on top of that, too, the peripheral, the Wii Zapper that came with this game, I no longer possess it. When I was moving, that was one of the things that got lost when I moved. So, this footage actually comes from Ted from Brain Scratch Comms, which I'm putting on screen right now, giving credit and all that. I'm going to have a short montage of all the levels in the game, including the final boss, which the final boss is kind of a disappointment, even though this is a spin-off, but whatever. One interesting thing to note, though, is that the crossbow that Link used in this game is actually the second-level weapon for Linkle in Hyrule Warriors Legends, which I thought was a really nice reference. Now, in any case, this is the end of the bonus video because I'm just going to leave the montage playing since this is the rest of the video for the next 10 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoy this nice remix of the Dark World that's playing right now. And next time that we meet, I'm going to be playing the Wii U version and showing you all the differences. As of this video, I still haven't beaten it. I'm only up to Arbiter's Grounds. Funny enough, that's what's on screen right now. And yeah, next time we meet in Hyrule, we will be in high definition. See you guys then.